The trial has started against the two Muslim men accused of attacking officers at Manchester Airport last year. But I'm wondering, why is there a media blackout on this trial? What's Keir Starmer trying to hide here? Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing a very odd thing that is happening. A media blackout on the trial against the two Muslim men accused of attacking police officers at Manchester Airport. The incident caught on tape right here that went viral last year. However, I wonder, why is the media staying silent on this? Now, of course, before I jump in, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. And as a disclaimer, I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it first and foremost with the clip that shocked the nation last year. Here is the, I'm going to have to say, alleged attack by the two gentlemen stand accused to police officers at Manchester Airport. Watch this clip right here. Wow. And those two that are currently now on trial have the balls to say not guilty to the charges. Now, you'd be forgiven if you didn't know this, however. As far as I'm concerned, those animals were in court yesterday at the start of their trial for jury selection. Here is the report from Manchester Evening News. Brothers back in court ahead of Manchester Airport police assault trial as judge issues a warning to potential jurors. A judge told potential jurors in the trial that they must not allow yourselves to be influenced by anything you may have read or heard on the mainstream media or social media. So we've got Mohammed Fahir Amaz, aged 20, and Mohammed Ahmad, aged 26, both of Tarnside Close in Rochdale, appearing at Liverpool Crown Court. They've been charged with assault following that video footage that I've just showed you. A panel of 40 jurors was reduced to 28 after the panel was asked to complete a questionnaire. Now, with the Manchester Evening News being the only mainstream media out there that I could actually find reporting on it, firstly, it makes sense as the incident occurred at Manchester Airport. So the Manchester Evening News, the local papers, is going to inevitably report on this. However, the rest of the mainstream media, look at this. This is the news feed on Google. I literally just put in Manchester Airport attackers trial. And the rest of the results you can see here is the mainstream media reporting on them, denying the charges back in February this year. But apart from the Manchester Evening News, no other mainstream media outlet has actually reported on the start of the trial from yesterday. So why does there seem to be, overall, a media blackout here? Let's put it this way, and I'm asking for a friend here. If the alleged perpetrators were white British, do you think there'd be so much silence from the mainstream media? Honestly, I don't think so. Do you? Now, the response on Twitter, my goodness, has been absolutely scathing against the mainstream media. Here, we've got the homeless hacker at Digital Vagrant on X saying, why the media silence? The legacy media coverage is eerily quiet. Why? Could it be fear of stoking tensions around a case tied to public protests and sensitive community dynamics? This selective silence raises questions about narrative control. And here's the homeless hacker's controversial take on this. mainstream outlets might be dodging this story to avoid challenging politically charged narratives around policing and public safety. Don't wait for the media to decide what matters. Just go on to X, go on to YouTube. We're all reporting on it at the very least. But those mofos in the mainstream media pretty much aren't. Here, we've got Yaldin 1066 on X, also recognising that there's been complete media silence from the start of the trial yesterday. Here, we've got Marilyn Irish saying, why does there appear to be a news blackout regarding the trial of the Manchester airport? 2 Muslim attackers who allegedly on video assaulted police, including breaking the nose of a female police officer whose trial started today. Yeah. Why does there appear to be a news blackout on this? And as my good friend Dan over on Black Belt Barrister has been saying, is he really the only person talking about this? Now, his video on this topic, I will link in the description bar below. Do make sure, if you haven't done so already, A, watch the video, and B, follow him, because he's our kind of people. Let's be real on this, all right? But overall, okay, it's very, very strange that this clip went absolutely viral last year, right? Of these 2 allegedly attacking the police officers at Manchester Airport, this, that, and the other, right? Went absolutely viral last year. And now that we've got to the point where the trial has started, there is a public interest in this case. No doubt, hands down. Just based on the strength of this clip going viral last year. We want to know what happens. We want to know what's going to happen in this trial. The public interest is there. Therefore, why is there essentially a media blackout on this? Why isn't the mainstream media reporting on this? I have to admit, the homeless hacker may have a point. Could it be that the mainstream media might be dodging this story to avoid challenging politically charged narratives around policing and public safety? Could it be that the mainstream media is avoiding this story to try and avoid highlighting the 2-tier system, the 2-tier justice that we do have in the UK right now? Because if Lucy Connolly can be sentenced for 31 months for something that she retweeted and took down pretty soon after, right? How come that band, that act, Bob Vylan or whoever the frick they're called, right, can get away with, as far as I'm concerned, shouting hate, racial hate on stage in Glastonbury and still be walking around free men to this day? Not be arrested, not be charged, no nothing. Make that make sense. Well, the only conclusion that you can get to is that there is a 2-tier justice system here in the UK. And anyone that turns around and says that there isn't, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, they are gaslighting you. Don't let them do that. However, going around full circle, this is strange at the very, very least. This is really, really odd for a story that lit us all up last year, right? Went absolutely viral. The public interest is there to find out what is happening in this trial. Apart from Manchester Evening News, not one mainstream media is reporting on it. Here's the results from Google right there in the news feed. Not even GB News. GB News, where you at? What the hell is this? With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and of course there's going to be more, you do not want to miss my next video, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here at Political Nerds. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Why do you think there's a media blackout on this trial? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.